There are so many fascinating things about nature that we've never bothered to think of. Stuff like dolphins being pregnant for a whole year, kangaroos being able to put their pregnancy on pause until their current newborn is old enough, and of course, male seahorses shooting babies out of their genitals sound like a lie, but in fact it happens every single day. Surprised? Well, stick to the end if you want to find out more, because in today's video, we're going to talk about the weirdest moments of animals giving birth. So without further ado, let's get started. Have you ever wondered how one of the rarest animals on Earth gives birth? Well, it's pretty much one shock after the other. For starters, did you know that a female rhino stays pregnant for about 18 months? Crazy, right? Human females stay pregnant for around 9 months, and even that seems like such a long time. But 18 months? That's insane. But wait until you look at this video of a female rhino giving birth. The baby seems pretty big already, doesn't it? Well, that's because newborn rhinos commonly weigh somewhere between 55 to a shocking, yet very normal, 100 pounds. Unlike rhinos, all animals don't have insanely long gestation periods. For example, have you ever seen a pregnant tigress? Whether it's in real life or on the Wildlife Channel, pregnant tigresses are rarely sighted. But why is that? Well, it's because of their incredibly short gestation periods. Human females remain pregnant for 9 whole months under regular conditions, but tigresses, less than half that time. That's right, folks, after being pregnant for barely 3.5 months, they give birth at a suitable private area that's close to prey, capable of giving birth to 3 to 5 babies at once. Female tigers pretty much do everything at the last moment. Nature has assigned different ways of giving birth to different animals. Humans and mammals give birth to young ones. Birds lay eggs, and so do reptiles. Hold on, do all reptiles lay eggs? Well, if you think they do, then prepare to be confused by chameleons. They're reptiles, right? Then how come they give birth like mammals? Aren't they supposed to lay eggs like crocodiles? Well, here's a plot twist. They do lay eggs, but they just incubate them inside their body. So basically, instead of sitting on the eggs like chickens do, they just incubate them in their bodies. But how many eggs can they lay at a time? Well, because of limited storage capacity, a female chameleon is capable of giving birth to 8 to 30 babies after a gestation of 4 to 6 months. When it comes to something as precious and lovely as dogs, the saying "the more the merrier" is absolutely correct, but have you ever witnessed a dog give birth? Well, after a pregnancy that lasts for about 65 days, female dogs are ready to give birth. And unlike humans that require doctors and a lot of medical staff to give birth, dogs just do it on their own. However, there's one interesting thing. As you might already know, dogs give birth to multiple puppies at the same time. But it's not like one puppy pops out right after the last. The mother takes breaks after each puppy and roughly licks the newborn to improve its blood circulation. Going back to the topic of insanely long pregnancies, did you know that a female dolphin stays pregnant for an entire year? For a whole year, the embryo grows and gains nutrition from its mother, and when it's about 25 to 40 pounds heavy after a year, it's finally born. Another thing, if you think human babies are clingy, wait until you find out that after being born, the baby dolphin stays actually attached to its mother until it's grown enough to swim on its own. If you're wondering what they eat after being born, well, they eat nothing. They just have their mother's milk and make sure the water doesn't mix with their milk. They use their tongues to make sort of a funnel. As compared to dolphins, kangaroos are not that small. If anything, they might be heavier and bigger. However, you might be surprised to know that the gestation period of a kangaroo is around just 28 days. And if the kangaroo gets pregnant again right after giving birth, it can put the fetus that's growing in it on pause until the newborn is old enough. That's right, folks, and unlike other animals, kangaroos have a very unique way of giving birth. After 28 days, the baby kangaroo, that's only a few centimeters long and probably looks like a long jelly bean, emerges. With nothing but 2 half-developed arms, the baby kangaroo that comes out of the base of the mama's pouch crawls upwards. After taking a nipple in its mouth, it's drip-fed until it grows out of it. Also, did you guys know that a baby kangaroo is called a joey? Unlike baby dolphins that literally attach themselves to their mothers for as long as they like, baby turtles are treated a little differently. A lot of people might not know, but turtles lay eggs only on the island where they were born themselves. So it doesn't matter if a turtle lives halfway across the earth. If it's about to give birth, it'll swim back to where it was born and then it'll lay eggs. After going through so much, the mama turtle pretty much abandons her eggs. After hatching, they swim directly in the water, and in case you're wondering, no, they don't look for their mother. That chapter's closed right after the mother lays eggs. After that, they just fend for themselves. One of the most adorable and cuddly animals on Earth, pandas, tend to be pregnant for 100 to 150 days. After giving birth, the mama panda is pretty much up for a full-time job. That means continuously nursing or grooming the newborn. Baby pandas don't leave their den for the initial months of their lives, and they weigh only 5 to 8 pounds at birth and are completely dependent on their mothers for survival. After they've grown enough, their mother introduces them to bamboo, one of the most favorite things to be eaten by pandas. The first thing you want to do after seeing a cute little baby is probably caress it. However, we'd suggest you keep a little distance from these newborn baby hedgehogs. Not only are they incredibly prickly at birth, but the tiny bristles are almost transparent, so it's quite hard to detect. After birth, they spend 4 to 6 months with their mother, and with the passage of time, the addition of color to their quills indicates their age. The older they get, the darker their quills are. One of the tallest animals to exist, giraffes are nothing but absolutely magnificent. But have you ever seen a giraffe give birth? They do it while standing. And as everyone is pretty aware of their height, you can imagine the newborn falling out of the mother's opening. Now that's a rough start to life. Imagine falling from a height of around 6 feet moments after being born. But just like every other thing in life, this seemingly painful start also has a good reason behind it. Falling from that height bursts the amniotic sac and severs the umbilical cord attached to the baby giraffe, and after 6 to 8 hours, it's ready to walk. Speaking of giant animals being pregnant, did you know that elephants remain pregnant for about 23 months? Do the math, people, that's almost 2 years. Human females carry a child for 9 months, and we all know how exhausting and painful that is. But what about elephants that have to carry their babies for 2 years? This is why elephants only give birth once in the span of 5 years. After staying in labor for several days, the newborn ends up being 200 to 320 pounds heavy. Now let's talk about an animal that seems similar to humans in more ways than any other animal: orangutan. Just like any human mother, Mama Orangutan is very conscious and prepared to give birth when it's time. However, the first thing she does after giving birth is extremely different than what a human mother does. A female orangutan licks off the mucus and amniotic fluid off its baby, making sure that its airways are fine and it's responsive. After that, it nurses the child and teaches it to move and communicate just like humans do with their babies. Now let's talk about one of the easiest and shortest pregnancies in nature. And you might have seen this adorable little fellow in trees, running on branches and picking acorns. That's right, folks, we're talking about squirrels. After an incredibly short pregnancy period of 46 days, the mama gives birth to 2 to 4 babies. In the initial stage of life, they're pretty much motionless and depend on their mother entirely. But after being weaned by their mother for 2 to 4 months, they're ready to run around and become the life of trees all over the world. Notorious for their incredible reproductive abilities, rabbits are one of the most fascinating and, of course, fluffiest animals known to mankind. And unlike other animals that mate only during a particular breeding season, rabbits are ready to go at it at literally any time. A mama rabbit stays pregnant for a month and can give birth to 2 to 4 babies at once. So that means rabbits are able to produce anywhere between 12 and 140 babies without a break. Last but not least, let's talk about the birth process of a baby donkey. Just like other big animals, donkeys have a pretty long pregnancy period as well. After being pregnant for 11 or 14 and a half months, the closer the birthing time comes, the more milk the mother starts to produce. Then barely 3 days before birth, the mother stops eating, and by the time it's ready to give birth, the mother prepares herself by putting her head between her forelegs. Some donkeys give birth while laying, and some prefer to do it while standing. However, unlike newborn giraffes, baby donkeys don't get such a harsh start to life. If their mother wants to give birth while standing, usually someone is standing nearby to help the process and hold the baby as it's gently pushed out. Alright folks, that's all for today. Those were all the videos on our list. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave us a fat thumbs up. As always, take care, and goodbye.